Hey everybody, it's me, Divisive Legend here, and today I'm going to talk about how the rap music industry and the African American music media in general, not just music but media of African Americans, is contributing heavily to the problems in the black community more so than virtually anything else. Actually, I would say anything else. Now, with this, I'm going to start by talking about the fact that the study that was showing blacks committing 52% of the violent crime of being 13% of the population, this study covered from 1980 until 2008. So, to start off, we'll look at the music that was made in the 80s, because this was when a lot of the black single parent households became more prevalent and it was more of an issue. You have music like Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot and various other black rap music that was sexualizing women. And when you do that, that's going to lead to a heavily sexualized view of women by the people who are listening to it. It's going to influence them to look at women more sexually, and it's going to cause a hypersexualization of men because it's going to actually influence them because these people look up to these music artists and they look up to these famous people. People always look up to famous people. When you look at the violence that has come as a result of the black rap music, again, we'll correlate that to the 80s. We had an increase in violence between blacks, and we had an increase in other issues in black communities as well, because there was music like NWA, there was Snoop Dogg, these rap artists that were making these gangster rap music videos and these gangster rap songs contributed to, which talked about a lot of shooting and killing and fuck the police and fuck this nigga, 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 and all that. All this music came out in the 80s again, which is around the time that the black crime increased. Now, when you look at the factors of that, there's been the East Coast West Coast rap feud, which was part of the whole rap industry. There was a lot of gang-related rap during that time period, which directly can correlate to the increase of gang activity and gang affiliation in black communities. If you look at, we'll even use whites as an example here. If you look at the music in the 80s made by predominantly white artists and white bands during the rock and roll era, there was a lot of rampant drug use in that industry, in the rock and roll industry. During that time period, there was a large increase of drug usage as well. So it's not just blacks that are influenced by their music and by the media, it's everybody. The difference is that black media is encouraging violence. It's encouraging gang affiliation, and it's encouraging hatred towards police and violence. So, you look at the single parent households, that would directly correlate to the increase of sexualization in rap music. Because of the fact that people are sexualized so much, that will cause more sexual behavior. There will be a lot of premarital sex, and a lot more violence. When you look at the 90s was a lot more of a party era. And there was a lot of sexualization in the music then. There was a lot more sexual music in the 90s than there was in the 80s. And that would explain the increase of sexual activity in the 90s. When you look at the 2000s, again, there was a lot of sexualization, and that led to more sexualized behavior in the black communities. Now, I can use myself as an example for how I was influenced by music. I told you, I grew up with my black father. He was a single parent. I grew up in a single parent household. The music that my father had in the house and that I was listening to, I wasn't listening to that kind of music. I was listening to more To be honest, I listened to a lot of everything, but I was more of the boy band kind of guy. I used to love my NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Hanson, things like that. And that influenced my views. I'm not like I've listened to a lot of music where it was sexualized, but that wasn't my preference. I didn't look up to those people. My father didn't look up to those people. He didn't really want all that music with all the swearing and gang affiliation. He didn't really approve of that music. So it wasn't really in our house much. Because of that, I don't have those sexualized views. I have issues in terms of relationships. Because I don't really like relationships, but it's not a result of the music I listen to. It was a result of my experiences, and it was a result of what I saw growing up and how it influenced me. Because I was seeing things on TV like Jerry Springer and shows where they were talking about I cheated on you, and it turned me off to relationships because I didn't want to deal with the drama. That's how the media during that time period influenced me. When you look at the amount of anti-Trump things right now, a lot of that is being perpetuated by the media. A lot of the views towards blacks being traitors to their own race and being Uncle Toms, that's become perpetuated by the media too. So if you look at the pattern, everything has a connection to the black music industry, primarily the rap industry. So that's it for that topic. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. Now, before I go, I just want to say, in the next week or so, I'm planning to have my father on a video. I'm planning to have him on a video with me. And I'm going to let him talk about his experiences too. Because he grew up in the 60s and he was in that time period where those issues started to peak. And I'm sure his experience would be very good for everybody to hear as well. And I'm more than certain I can learn a lot from it as well. So, with that being said, Divisive Legend is now tuning out. Real news, real talk. Peace.